Hello all, today I'm talking about a new queer comedy drama romance film called A Nice Indian Boy, which had its premiere at South by Southwest early last year and made its way into other cinemas the past couple of months and earlier this year as well, and I finally got to check this one out. This one is directed by Roshan Sethi, I think that's how you pronounce it, and stars Jonathan Groff and Karan Soni as the two male leads, and they also play love interests in the film. And this one also has Justin Baldoni, who serves as one of the producers on the film. And I did mention in one of my earlier videos that this will be a primarily horror and queer related film channel where I will discuss all things film related. And this one is the first queer film that I will review on this channel, and I'm very excited to talk about this one today and share my thoughts with you all. So this one is based on a play of the same name by Madhuri Shikar and follows Naveen, who is an Indian American doctor, and he brings his fiancée Jay, who is a white man adopted by Indian parents, home to meet his traditional and more conservative family. So I finally got to check this one out in Australia months after its release, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge comedy guy. It's actually quite rare for me to laugh out loud in them nowadays. I feel like they've faded quite a bit in my opinion, especially in the last 10 years. I don't really come across good ones that often. I get to check out Lesbian Space Princess in less than a month at Melbourne International Film Festival, which I'm very excited to talk about. And I recently also watched Priscilla, Queen of the Desert as well. So I'm not sure if I'm just discovering these great comedies now or if I just have been looking in the wrong places, but I am definitely excited to talk about this one because it's definitely worth checking out. In terms of queer comedy, this is definitely up there with one of the best ones I've seen, especially in recent times. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's romantic, it's got some laugh out loud moments. There's definitely drama in here as well. I can definitely see myself rewatching this one, especially with my partner who hasn't seen it yet, and I think will really enjoy it. And it's currently sitting at my second favourite film of the year so far. There's definitely scenes throughout this film that I did find were quite relatable, especially the first romance and the experience of being in a closet and growing up with a traditional family and wanting to introduce your first partner to your family, but having that fear of rejection and having to come to terms with the fact that they might not be accepting of it and that they're the same sex as you. And Naveen definitely struggles with this, and due to him being in a more traditional family, he struggles bringing Jay, who as mentioned is a white man, home to meet his family. And Jay does have more of a carefree and free-spirited lifestyle, so this does cause some tension throughout. And if I'm being honest, it does remind me of my own relationship at times, which absolutely is not a bad thing. And there's nothing I love more in a queer film than feeling like I can relate to the main characters and like I've been through what they've been through and what they're bringing to life on screen. The leads definitely have chemistry in this. I absolutely loved watching their relationship grow in the film, especially towards the end. I thought that their wedding scene was so beautifully done. And there's a scene in this that really shows us that Jonathan did his research for playing this character, who really convinces us that he grew up and cemented himself in an Indian family and culture. I thought all the relationships in this film were extremely persuasive, along with, of course, the two main characters. You've got Naveen's family, who I would say are also main characters in the film, and there's some really laugh out loud moments with them in this, especially with the interactions of Naveen's family and Jay and Naveen. And there isn't many scenes of intense homophobia or hostility between Naveen's family and Jay and Naveen, I thought, in this film. With so many queer films out there that are just depressing and bleak and sad, and there's a lot of homophobia, as it is a comedy film, I suppose, but it is really feel good a lot of the time. And Naveen's family were more accepting of Jay than I would have initially thought. Of course, they're quite reserved because they come from a more traditional background and it's very new to them, and they've got to adjust to Naveen's new relationship with Jay. So there is some reservations in the film, I guess, but I think that they were just being quite aloof about their real feelings that their son is dating a guy. And I thought that when Jay was first introduced to the family again, they were quite hospitable. And although the dad in the film, he was more quiet, I think that he was the more hospitable and welcoming one. And there is a couple of scenes with him that I actually thought were hilarious. If there's anything about the film I didn't really like, and really it's got nothing to do with anything the filmmakers did or how the film was made, I just thought that Naveen's sister Arundhati was quite insufferable at times, and I found her a bit annoying. There was one thing in particular she does when Naveen brings Jay home to meet his family, and instead of trying to make a good impression, she goes out of her way to do something. I'm not going to say what. But I was just like, do you really need to do that? Come on. In saying that though, it is nice to see a female character of Indian background who can make her own decisions and is willing to go against her parents' wishes to be the perfect daughter, similar to how a lot of Indian women don't have full control over their lives and are expected to follow family traditions. So I did appreciate that about her character, but aside from that, yeah, I thought she was a bit annoying. So I think overall, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I think it's not just a film aimed for queer people. I do think it's meant to be enjoyed by a wider audience. Unlike Bros back in 2022, if anyone watched that, that completely failed in marketing itself towards a straight audience. I do think that this film overall is definitely one you should check out with a crowd if you can, if you still can see this at the cinemas, especially with all the negative, horrible, dark shit going on in the world. I definitely think we need more films like this. And like I said, it's quite rare nowadays to actually find comedies like this one that do have a lot of laugh out loud moments and really light-hearted humor and just all around a fun time. So I do recommend checking this one out. So if you have seen the film, I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you did, what you didn't like about it. And thank you for watching, and I hope to have more of you soon.